So welcome everyone to my December vlog. Sorry it's a little bit late in January, but I haven't had a chance to get on the bank yet. So today I'm actually here, have a look, on the banks of the River Dee at Farndon. Now what we're going to be doing, fishing with a response whip about there, hopefully catching some dace, maybe odd little chublet, odd roach maybe, but people fishing down there. So what we're going to do now, I'm just going to show you what ground bait I've got, what rig I've got. It's dead simple. I've got next to nothing. I've just got my box there, little hook, the ground bait which is black roach, and I've got some mole soil in there, just got my maggots in there. I'm just getting ready to set up filming. So basically I've got my response system whip, I think I've got 8 metres, yeah, 8 metres, I've called that, sorry. And that is down to brand new power in 2 gram, so just hold the finger, let it through. And I've just got the flick tip bit in the top of the whip, so I literally didn't have time to elasticate it. So that's my little rig, dead simple setup. I'll just show you the bulk, it's a bit tangly. Just got a dead simple shotting pattern, just a bulk there, and 2 droppers, and then a pre-tied up length for those N10. So that's that rig. Just chuck that there. Nice big house being built behind us, wouldn't mind living there. But that's the ground bait. Just got some mole soil and black roach, so might dampen that off a little bit, but it's got loads of hemp in it. It smells dead hempy, so all I'm going to do is feed some maggots with that. I was a bit lazy and I didn't get any casters. I like to feed some casters, but I haven't got any, so that's one of the things. So what we're going to do, get this introduced into the peg and hopefully catch some fish. Right, so let's get on some fishing now. So we've got a little setup. It's a little bit too light, but I'm not really a river expert. I do a little bit, but only for a bit of fun, so I'm not really too fussed about it being a bit too light. We're just catching a few days. So what I'm doing, just putting double maggot on. All I've been doing is putting double maggot on, just the red and the bronze at the minute. Ooh. And flicking it out, just catching a few days. But I've been feeding little regular nuggets of ground bait just to try and draw some fish in. Since I started doing that, I just got a few more bites. So it's important just to try and keep doing it, but hopefully we get a few fish for camera for you. Do apologise for any background noise. There's a building going on behind us, but it's a nice house that. Wouldn't mind living on that one. So December's vlog. So first of all, we're going to announce the winner of the Christmas giveaway, and that was Tony Hayward. All I did was I just picked, I think 275. Oh, we got one. 275 of you commented, so all I did was a random number generator, and Tony's number come out, so he's won. But we got a nice dace here. Look at that. That is beautiful. Nice little dace there. You wanted that one as well. Yeah, so you won the prize, Tony, so give me a little message, get in touch, and I'll get your prizes sent over to you, and how about you can go win them. But no, nice thank you for everyone as well for the comments and the likes and for the giveaway. It means a lot, and it's nice to have all your support. It's nice ways to end the year and give something back to you guys. So get in touch with us, pal, and we'll get it sent out to you there. But see, aggressive feeding, nothing more. My hands are covered in mole soil, bits of ground bait. I'm getting some. We haven't had anything else other than dace at the minute, but the light's going, so we might hook a big perch or something. It'd be nice, but like I said, I think my rig's a little bit too light. But to be fair, I woke up from a night shift and I just thought, you know what, why not go on the river for a couple of hours, catch a few fish. It's been dead enjoyable. So. But no, December's vlog, what we've been up to, we've been basically, what I wanted to do, I didn't really have anything planned over winter, and like I said, I think I said it in my last vlog, I wanted to get fishing and like get understanding the league. Now, December, predominantly I fish Monk Hall and Western Pools. Now, just stuck to these 2 venues in the winter, just literally because I'm learning loads about them. They're nice and local. travel a lot in the summer months. Ooh, there we go, there's one. Travel a lot in the summer months. What's that? Ooh, swung it past my head. I'm doing that. It's a gudgeon. Oh, you can't treat a gudgeon like that. I've actually never caught a river gudgeon. Look at that fella. Legend. Bad bit of swinging there by me. But yeah, I was travelling to Western Pools and Monk. So first of all, we had like start the individual league at Monk, and I've reported on that as we've gone. Ooh, wrong end. I reported on that as we've gone through, and if you missed any of that, just check out the videos on my channel. I've got loads of videos on there coming up. We've got 6 rounds and probably have a conclusion one as well. Loads of them. I've out of court now, I'm getting on. But also we had 2 rounds of the Pairs League, which I fished with Jamie Hughes at Monk as well. But I was on Swallow this time, so I've had them as well to get contend with. But one thing I want to speak about is actually how warm and good the fishing was at Western over the Christmas period, because I did a little. Normally what happens is over the Christmas period I get a bit of time off, and normally I just like to go spend a few days with the family, and then other ones just go fishing and just enjoy themselves. And Western's just down the road for me, nice and local. I've just got on the end of my peg now. You're always trying to get a little bit further. Nice and local. And recently stocked some new fish into it, so it's really interesting fishing, because you can catch some new fish early and then the old fish will feed later on. So the weights were terrific. I think I fished one. First match, I think I had like a silverfish match. I had nearly £80. Then I had £90. Then I went again and had £60, £60, or high 60s. Yeah, nothing better when you strike into one of them. Just flicked it. I'm not gonna give him a bad bit of bigger one. That one. Bad bit of swinging again, but look at that. That's fantastic fishing. That is. Nice days there. Look, I think I've had some tremendous days at Monk and sorry, Western, getting mixed up now. Enjoying myself catching some fish. But the noticeable was how key stockies were to catching a weight now. I went there, like I said, a few times, and a lot of the times catching some early fish was so crucial. And I think the key to this was feeding some crust expander. Now, I've done it in the past a lot of the time. I'm a big believer in a little bit of crust expander. Just brings them fish into your peg ever so quickly. It's hardly any feed. So you imagine, like, say that's a crust expander. It's just literally just little particles, just loads of attraction. Fish come into your peg. They've not really got much to feed on, so they're inquisitive, and then because I think it aggravates them to feed. And as soon as it aggravates them to feed, yes. And concentrate. So it aggravates them to feed and just catch some fish. So that was key at the minute. And I just think there's less particles in, say, match method, just because you don't want to be too positive. It goes cool in the winter time. Now we were lucky over Christmas to have such a warm spell, but in, like, say this time of year now, at middle of January now, and it's icing over places, it's getting cooler, the water's getting really cold, the nights are freezing. Probably see now that sun's dropped down the backdrop of them houses there, and I'm starting to, like, see my breath. It's getting cooler now, so it's changing. Like at Christmas time it was like 10 degrees at night. Now that's going to make the fish want to feed straight away on probably, say, pellets and stuff. But when you've got like a tricky scenario, I don't think you can beat just dropping a little bit of crust expander into your peg, and it just spurs them fish on. Oh yeah, I was right at the bottom, that one. Get this one. Some dace. I think it just spurs the fish on, so you can get a lot of bigger bites. So I'd say my biggest thing in December would be the feeding. Try it without putting that section on. Biggest thing would be like the feeding. So like I'd start off with crusty expander, and I had like a little match plan. So I'd like start on my crusty expander, catch some stockies, feed my maggot line, drop on my maggot line. Generally the case was you catch some stockies on your maggot line, but then eventually, oh that went then. Eventually you generally get some bigger stamp fish, and now Western, I love fishing there this time of year because of the stamp of the F1s are massive. They're old crafty things, you feel like you're rewarded with fishing them, and then the best way by far was loose feed. Loose feeding all the time, getting a few fish in your peg and catching these fish with light rigs, so light droppers, like number 10s, number 11s, 4x10s, 4x12 floats, depending on the depth. Just keep flicking that rig in, and then eventually you'll come across a few fish and you'll get that run you need. Now if you've already got like say 20 to 30, even 40, 50 pounds in some cases of smaller fish, newer fish, you're going to have a really good weight, and you're going to make it a lot easier to frame and get in your match. So that's probably the biggest lesson I learned in say December, is fishing and trying to understand your feed. Yes, it's a bit easier, just swing him in now. Ooh. Hey, it's a roach. Yes. We've had a roach, gudgeon. Try and get him with the scourge in it. Try and get him undone now. Double maggot been chomped there. So in fact, we've just, ever since I started feeding regular little nuggets, it's got a lot better. Now I'm no, like I said, no river expert. I wanted some casters really, but I was a bit lazy and I didn't get time to go and get any from the shop, so we just got what we got. Just a few maggots in my ground bait. So I've got my whip. I've actually got the flick tip in this as well. Just a few rubbers on the end, and I never actually really fished with a flick tip that much. I've not really done this fishing much at all, but it is enjoyable. That's going to go on. Oh yeah, bugger. Like I say, I went to Western. The key was like I said, loose feed. Trying to catch a few fish on the drop, even caught some shallow some days. There's some great weights. We had the pairs league, the pairs match on, I know it was early January, but it's the sort of same sort of time. But it's just the feeding was learning how the feeding. Now the light rigs come about from actually fishing a live match at Monk Hall. Oh, there's a bite then. Should have struck then. So from a members channel, I went to Monk Hall for a live match on the Hawk pool this time, and if you haven't, yes, oh, bump that one. Sorry, keep going off topic. I keep getting a bite when I'm trying to think what to say. See, that's what I'm going to try and do with these vlogs, is come on little weird, just enjoyable fishing. I'm not bothered if this is a match scenario, you'd be like, oh, the rig's a bit too light, and I'm just not bothered. I just I'm enjoying myself. I'm literally throwing a ball of ground bait in, basically crushed up hemp in the black roach, probably some bread in there as well. Not too sure what the ingredients are, but literally feeding some of that. Bit of mole oil soil, trotting a rig down, probably a bit too light. We've caught a roach now, we've caught a gudgeon. I've actually never caught a river gudgeon. and catching some dace, and it's just sat level of the water. Feels like wild fishing. Just doesn't really matter, does it? Just enjoy it. That's one thing I wanted to sort of do this year, is just enjoy myself, go little places. So these vlogs are not going to be all just all on tap. Not, don't get me wrong, I like all style of fishing. I'm not saying just tapping pellets and catching carp and fishing on commercials, but you want to make it interesting and a bit challenging. Like, I don't really do this style of fishing, so it's all new to me. I probably need a heavier float. Probably fishing a little bit too far, maybe. I'm going to try and do a double in. Ooh, throw one in, swing one in. Machine. Look at that. Look for dace. It's smaller then. But I bet there's ways to catch bigger fish and stuff, but that takes learning out and time. There's a lot of good anglers that come on the rivers and do that, but just thought it'd be interesting. I've got me whip. First outing for it. I'm catching a few fish, but so I've covered like a western sort of December. Anyone going there, I'd probably recommend light rig, start on pellets, maybe a bit of bread if you're in a carpy area. If you're unsure, just ask someone. Night before, if you're ever unsure, just give us a message the night before. I'll try and get back to you. The problem is if it's not too late. But we'll float that one. Oh yeah, enjoyed that one. Ooh. Got massive mouths on them really for a little fish. Dace, that's not dace, that is for is a little chublet. So I was saying, if a bit of advice for western, probably start on pellets if you're in a little area. If you're on some carp, maybe start with a bit of bread, just to try and dob some early fish, because they are quite big fish in western, so you can get some early carp in the net. You've got a good chance of catching a match winning weight. But now Monk Hall, like I was saying, I fished a live match for my members, and that was on the hawk pool. Now that is actually now live, and that was a massive learning curve of what I learned that day. How I was catching them. And I just put it into my sort of Christmas period, and to be honest, I haven't had a run for it like that for ages. It's probably a nice lucky run, but I haven't had that for such a long time, where you're just fishing and you feel like you're understanding what's going on with the feeding and stuff like that, and you're not setting up like, probably mack it. You're not setting up daft things. You're just going there and enjoying your fishing and learning about your feeding. But Monk Hall, so I'm going to move on to that one now, because they're the only two places I've actually been. Like I said, I wanted to get in the groove of like what's going on there, and I feel like it's paid me massive stead, and I've learnt loads about sort of like timings and where's the fish in certain areas. Is it worth dobbing? Is it worth... Current's got that. See, I haven't got an actual clue. It's just trying to concentrate with doing it, and it's just to learn about different pegs and snake lake fishing, and picking up different rigs at certain times and seeing what rig is the best and how you're going to be catching them. So I had 2 of the pairs rounds at Monk Hall. I had 2 of the Winter League rounds, which are on my channel. I'm not going to cover them too much, and the pairs ones are actually on my members channel. Now, one thing that I am going to do and talk about is when me and Jamie actually went for the Christmas pairs. So every year, I think it's Scott Dewson and Posty run a Christmas pairs, but this year I think they ran one day and then Ben ran the other day, so we actually couldn't get on the first one. It actually sold out before we had a chance to even see it, so that's how popular the venue is in winter. So the second one we actually went, and me and Jamie went and I drew on hawk pool peg 14. Now this is a good area for carp. It's in sort of like a corner, but because you haven't got an island, you've got basically, can't get this right now, lost my concentration. Because you haven't got an island, you've basically got you're in a corner of, say, like a square lake. So you've got stones or like a pile of bricks sort of thing. It's not like a horrible pile, it's actually quite nice to plumb up. But you've got them, it's say they're on that peg, they're about 14. What is going on here now with this? Right, flick it out there, come on. So you've got stones about 14 metres, 14, 15 metres, and actually they're probably about the size of a van. They're quite wide, they're quite a fair width, so they're not a small bit of area. And they're changing depths now. One thing you find with this lake, Hawkpool, is the stones on peg 12, peg 14, peg 5 and peg 8, and obviously 7's in between them ones. So they're the ones that have got the stones. I'm actually going to try and flick it further down because it's doing me head in. So they're the ones with the stones. So ideally you're going to be fishing for carp on these areas because they hold up when the weather goes like it is at the minute. Wintry time, cold nights, I think the fish just like congregate around these stones, whether it's warmth or just a bigger area for the fish to come. They congregate around these stones, and it can be tremendous fishing. You can literally dob some bread around and feed pellets and corn, and you have to like sort of attack for carp on them style of pegs. Now I like to fish for a bit of everything on there just to get some bites, but that area I have to fish for carp. Now driving down, Jamie's done the draw because I was running late as normal, and he's drawn me this peg 14. I'm thinking, I'm not moaning because it's a good area, it's a chance of carp, it's a chance of winning the lake, but I feel like peg 12 and peg 13 and 11 have been a more consistent area when the fish were feeding. This has gone to Pete Tong now. I might put that other one back on. So I feel like a more consistent area is say like 12, 13. Now I have seen 14 win the lake before and be really good. So I was thinking, I might get away with it. Then I found out, this is where it all changed. I found out I actually won the lake the day before. Let's put this on now. So because it won the late day before, I'm thinking maybe they're here now. Luckily, they're here. Now I thought, right, I'll start dabbing around these stones, see if I get any bites. But we hadn't been catching really in the league on bread. So if I didn't want to waste too much time, like I was saying before, you just get a feel of what's working at the venue and what's right. So quick little flick around on bread. Didn't really catch anything. I didn't catch anything, to be fair. I didn't get any signs either. So instead of wasting time trying to find them sort of thing, I've gone on top of the stones. I think it's about 16 metres on top of the stones. Tap some pellets in, probably like 15 micros, piece of corn on the hook. This is a really good way of catching carp on that lake in the winter. And I actually caught an F1 and then didn't get any signs. But the one thing on my members channel I always speak about watching the other anglers and using them to your advantage. I was seeing I think it was young Cody on peg 12. He's dropped in and he's catching in the deepest part of his peg. So what I mean by that, the hump comes up like that and it goes down, and he's catching, and his rig was dead deep. So basically I've thought, right, well, he's catching in deep water, I'll just try mine. Same again, tap the same bait in, didn't tap any less in, just same amount, 15 micros, a couple of bits of corn. I've gone in and I've had, I think it was like, in the next 90 minutes or something, I had 12 carp. Now this is massive really, you think about it. I think £70 won the lake the day before. £70 won the lake the day before. I've got 12 carp for probably 40 pound, I was going to say. 40 odd pound, maybe. Yeah, £45 I'm going to say. That's going to go that. Yeah, we're on. Yeah. Probably stopped feeding because I was talking. So I probably got £45. Nice big one actually. The old dace. Yeah, nice one that. Like an hide, but a river hide. So I probably got £40-50, and then it's dried up. Now basically the whole lake just switched off, to be fair. It wasn't just my peg, but I felt the fish had moved out my peg. So then, because they've gone, I didn't want to, this is the beauty about, I know everyone can't go a lot, but when you fish a lot, and you keep going regular and going to a venue regular, you understand what the patterns are. Now, because I've been to that venue a fair bit, and I've been on that lake the week before in my live match, I knew that everyone just stopped catching. Now, whether it's weather and conditions, or the fish just stop feeding, it is winter, remember. Now, everyone just stopped catching, so I thought, right, well, these carp have gone. I've not had one for about an hour and a half now. Not had one for about an hour and a half. It was quite difficult to get any bites on corn. I think it was a bit too positive at that time of the match. So I basically come back. I fed maggots on the right hand side of the hump, but I hadn't been on it. So literally I just went in, tapped 10 to 15 maggots in, double maggot on the hook, dead patient, sat there. And I've actually caught like 3 carp on that, couple of F1s, and about 5 or probably about 10 or 12 eyed, 15 I'd say. And these fish are like 12 ounce, a good stamp. 10, 12 ounce, so they're worth catching. Ooh, was that the... Right, we're just going to do a little break from the fishing, and you'll be interested in this one. We're going to do another giveaway. Now, thank you to everyone that commented on the last giveaway, the Christmas one. Really appreciate all the messages and the comments on there, and well done to Tony on the win again. Now, as you hear me speak about, I'm going to speak about in this vlog, is a match me and Jamie Hughes fished at Munkall, and we actually won this Sonubaits bundle. So we're just going to go through it now. So we got some pina colada, or pineapple and coconut bait booster. Used to be pina colada, I think. Same wafters, 1mm feed pellet, another bag of them, and the Power Scopex. So I'm gonna do another competition, so get your comments in again on the vlog, and I'll pick a winner at random on how many comments, like I did last time. It's only fairest way. What I'll do is I'll send the contents of the bucket. I won't be sending the bucket just through costs, just to spend the bucket, but the contents of this bucket will get sent out to the winner. So get commenting below. Now let's get back to catching some fish on this river. One thing in the river when it goes is like whoosh, just slides away. As Matt Godfrey would say, it's sliding. A few slides there. Oh, nope, it's too early. Idiot. Like I said, I've just ticked over, caught some fish, and I think if you don't go, you think you'd be chasing your tail trying to catch. You'd be chasing your tail trying to catch these carp, because you caught them early. It's just natural instinct, I think, just to think, oh, I caught them, they might come back, they might come back, they might come back. And the next thing you've done is you might have wasted hours, 2 hours on these carp, which you're not going to catch because they've gone. So literally just fed some maggots, minimal amount, just sat there nice and patient, and I've caught probably £20 on that line, say. Come the all out, I've had £72, sorry. And that won the lake, so job done there. Actually won the lake. Jamie's come up, standard, just won the lake on the owl, and we've actually won the pairs, so it was a nice little bonus in between Christmas and New Year, that. But like I said, just that going the week before, learning about feeding, just being patient, knowing. I think it's the confidence about knowing. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sat here now not having an absolute clue what I'm up to, but there'll be someone that knows it and they'll be like, oh, you need to put this rig on and stuff. But if it comes to commercial and you're going regular, you'll have the confidence to be like, no, that's the right thing to do, that's the right rig to put on. I'm going to feed like this today because the fishing's like this, and it just changes how you're fishing. So just think, if you're going, I would say if you're going to try and get into like match fishing, start it, or just get a few, try and get into a place where you're going to go somewhere regular, because I know I've always thought it's been massive to learn it, but the patterns how they feed can make probably going to get snarled by a pipe, one of these in a minute. It's asking for it, aren't they? Flashing around. Oh no, but the advantages, like I said, of actually learning the venue and just learning feeding patterns at different times is so crucial. But That's one little thing I'd take from this vlog. Is you've just learned about your feeding, but also you can get on a river with bare minimum gear. I've probably got, oh no, actually tangled my rig now. I must look like a fool here. Won't edit that one out. But say I'm catching a few fish. I know we probably could have heavier rig on, but enjoy myself, feeding nuggets every time, trying to get some bait into the bottom. It's a few maggots, a couple of hours, catch in a few days, and roach. I mean, you had a gudgeon. Nice to get a big perch. Well, it's got to go there, looking likely. But that's my December. I've had a nice little, learnt a lot about feeding. Oh yes, that was right at the end, I pegged that one. Learnt a lot about feeding. Massively. Just about amount to feed and where to drop at certain times. Now, what I'll do is I'll put like the live match little trailer clip at the end of this video. You can see what I mean by the feeding and how about understanding, because in that clip it just sums up that match, and it was a really interesting match. But for anyone, I've had a lot of questions recently about match fishing. They want to get into it this year and they're a bit unsure. Now, if you like watching videos, on my members channel, which you can see in the description below, the little link, what's going on there, I actually talk about going, God, that's a bad flick, that was. I actually talk about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, how it's going on. Now, leave all like foul lookers, miss bites, just try and counteract that and try and see what I do to try and get the most out of my peg. Now, I feel like I'm on a massive learning experience on my match fishing journey, but I really enjoy having that members channel to edit the videos, watch them back, and I feel like I learn more. Oh, that was a word to say with that. I feel like I learn more when I'm editing them, because you've got it a mental block. You've got it as a fixed video of you seeing what's going on, how you went about it, what you can do better, and how you change it. Now, I think that's massive. But one thing I do, I've got a quite good memory. I'm a bit weird. And I actually remember just weird stuff. Like, I can remember my matches from like 4 or 5 years ago where I caught. Probably like I've got a massive memory of like Western from years ago and how I'm catching. But if you struggle and you can't really remember, just write it down. Now, I've decided this year I'm actually going to get a little diary. I've got my little diary going already, and I'm writing down what happened on the day, what things I learned, and then you can, if you ever go back to that venue at that time of year, you've always got it to check over. Now, don't get me wrong, if you can remember, then happy days, but if you can't, just write it down. It's there on a piece of paper, black and white, then you can read it, you're not going to forget it, and it just helps you improve. Oh, went again there. Help you improve your fishing massively. I think you put more fish in the net, it'll just be easier for you and more enjoyable, and you feel like you're on a learning. So like I said, if you're thinking maybe have a look, just check out the link, just have a little look on my members channel. You can see all live matches. We've got in-depth methods from open water, winter pellet fishing, we've got summer bomb and pellet fishing on there. We've got loads planned this year for it. Oh, that was a sail away, that. I'll try and catch a couple more for you. But no, just check it out if you fancy looking at it. Might not be for everyone, but if you're really enjoying videos, fishing videos and live matches and seeing situations, a lot of time under pressure to do well, you see how I try and counteract that. Like I said, I'm not trying to say I know everything, but I'm just trying to go on the learning, just trying to show people what I'm learning along the way. It's got to be a bite, that. I'm paranoid we're going to hook a pike. I never really hooked a pike on a flick tip. I don't think it would be an ideal situation to be in. We've got one of them. Smaller. Let's come on. Bugger. Quite a busy road this though, but it's free fishing actually on this side. Anyone knows it, Farndon and River Dee, free fishing. So it's quite good. Just drop down here for an afternoon. Normally get a lot of pike anglers, but this is prolific for silverfish fishing on the river. It's good fun. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I think that's why I enjoy it so much. But no. So we've covered Western Pools, what I learnt there. We've covered Monk Hall, that's the only places I've been really. And two venues in December. It's been really enjoyable. Catching loads of fish because the weather was decent. But obviously learning loads about feeding as well. Ooh, that was a bite then. It sailed away. So we'll just try and catch one more. And then we'll sign off. But no, well done to Tony as well, winning the giveaway. Nice little prize for you. Don't forget, Tony, if you're watching this, just give me a message on any of my social media. And I'll get it across to you. Swing him in. A bit bigger one again. See the pack that. I know it's probably the wrong size float, but I'm gonna have one more. Can't resist. Probably be here till dark, know myself. No, it's probably a bit too light, but we've got 2 gram power on it. It's actually doing the job. Nice visible. It's not going. It's just probably like the limit of what I could use really. But it's what it is. It's catching us some fish. Who cares? I know we covered that. That's January's vlog. Hopefully, this will be like the perfect timing now. Oh, it's gonna bite then. And we get a bite, and then I'll swing him in, and we'll sign off. But is he gone? I can't actually see that now. There it is. No, missed him. Don't work like that. Yeah, I got January's going okay at the minute. We'll catch up on that vlog, but say, got any questions, just drop in the comments below. I forgot to do them on the last one. I've actually forgot to do them this time as well. So I'll try and get some more answered on the next one for you. There's a bite then. Drop him in. Oh, I bumped that one. Oh, I'm having a terrible time now. Right, try and get one more. One thing I do want to touch on actually, I've actually forgot to say it, and why I'm missing bites and losing fish left, right and centre, so it gives me a chance to talk about something, is actually I've started using, in the deepest water of my maggot fishing, 6-inch hook lengths now. I never used to, I just used to use 4 because it was easier. And I didn't want to tie loads of different sizes up. I just used to use 4 for everything in the winter. Now, because I've been using this year just an SFL straight off the rig stick, 6-inch, I've actually got one here. Multitask here now. I've actually got one like that, straight off there, tied to perfection. I can't tie them any better, so what's the point of me sitting there tying them, probably worse than what they are, in the sizes which they come in. That's what I use. So I've started to use that, and I've started to have a lot more fish, like I said, just on that settle. So holding onto my rig loads, holding onto the back shot, making sure it's settling up, it's going like that. And because I've had that 6-inch hook length, I feel now maybe over the few years I've actually missed out on that. Making a mess of this now. I've actually maybe missed out on that, but I never just felt out of laziness that was, but now I've actually got my act together. That's what I'm using. And it, very clumsy. I'm probably making a meal of this actually. But yeah, definitely if you were trying to achieve that fall, that slow fall, nice slow fall you get with maggots, just like hold onto your rig, 6-inch hook length, massive. I've actually got a video coming out soon, probably after this one, about matching your hooks to your elastic, so that'll be an interesting one for you guys. It like made massive sense to me. And one thing I think helped me catch more fish in the winter is just that hook hold. I'm always petrified that the hook hold, because they feed so finicky in the winter, you need to make sure you've got the right hook on, the right elastic situation to ensure you get every fish you hook in and you can keep catching. That was a bite then. Honestly, I'm making a mess of this. Oh. Keep feeding them. We'll get one in a minute. Blind squirrel finds them eventually. But no, it's been enjoyable this. How can you beat that? My hands covered in mud, chucking balls of ground bit in, trotting a float down on a whip. Just fishing, going into the dust now. It's getting cooler now. I don't mind winter when it's like it is, just cold and crispy, but when it's wet and windy and horrible, that's when it's worse. But I'm making a mess of trying to catch this last one. Nope. A couple more runs through and then the light's going to go then, and we'll be knackered then. Yes, got one. On to finish on finally. Told you that blind squirrel finds enough. Only a little one, but there we are. So that's November's vlog finished with. Little whip system, got a bulk and 2 droppers, dead simple fishing. Ooh. Nice little days to end on, dead simple. Got the old rig sticks in there with the pre-tides, N10s on there, so nice simple fishing. So I'm just going to put this one back, probably going to have a couple more chucks before it goes dark, but I'll see you on the next vlog. Haven't really had any signs on that corn. So what I was looking to achieve with that corn is like a quick bite. So if there's any carp there, just feed about 8 to 6 pieces, something like that. Just try and trap one straight down to the bottom again and try and get a quick response, but it hasn't happened. So what I'm thinking now is I'll come back in a minute, put in like 20 micro pellets, 5 or 6 pieces of corn again, going again and putting a lot of particles in, so there's like a lot of attractions for it to when it goes down. See what response we get off that. So I'm going to try that actually, because I just feel like that was a bit too negative, that just the corn trick. So let's say get a pinch of pellets, 20 or 30, just a pinch of corn. Keep that short line topped up. That might need to go on that in a minute, we might need to drop in that edge. Anything that's worried about the edge, it's like an inlet that comes in, it's pushing cold water in. So, anything that's worrying me. Let's just see what sound we get off this. I don't really get any signs off it again, it's not really worked, but it's one of them that. At least we've got a maggot line to drop onto if we need to. Or... Anyway, we'll just see, just tap some pellets in. And you might know then once, if you get some signs off this time, we're feeding some micro pellets. Then you know you might need, when you've got no bites, just tap a few pellets in, try and draw some back in. Because if when we first went on it, we've had two missed bites, and then we come back because our corn come off and just fed corn, sort of like pinned one down straight away. See there, that's the difference. That I think we need to put some pellets in really. No, that's no coincidence that though. Not really a sign. Tap some micros in and just draw one straight into your peg straight away. And what it is, wallowing. It's just so interesting when you start like breaking down your feet, thinking about what to do and why. It just amazes you, and like that's one thing I love about fishing. And F1 as well. So. There's one thing I love about fishing is just the feeding side of it. You got to think about it. You try and trick one to catching one. So I'm going to try and continue with this for a little bit. And I'm probably going to come back like last 20 minutes, and we might be either like down the edge or on short pole, or I could be back still on this line. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you see, don't forget to give the video a like and a comment below. But if you're looking for something to improve your fishing a little bit more, or really enjoy watching live matches, or learning about new methods, or just general real in-depth match reports, don't forget to check out my members channel in the description below.